ready.
Emotions are like a car sitting on a hill. There's a trigger that triggers it. And then what happens is the car starts to roll. Now, if you're able to, imagine you're standing behind the car and the car wasn't that heavy and you were really, really strong. Do you think if that car brakes stopped working and you were there and you're quick enough that you can put your hands on it and hold it in place? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yeah? Imagine that it's a relatively light car and you're strong. Yeah? Everyone agree you could stop it? You could probably hold it in place? Yeah? Good. However, if that car rolls and starts rolling and starts to pick up momentum, how likely are you now to stop it?
Yeah.
Pretty fucking unlikely, yeah? Emotions are the same. So when emotion just starts, you've got this little golden window, right? A little chunk of time where you can assert control over your emotion, reframe it, learn from it, and let it go. But unfortunately, most people don't realize this, and there's some sort of weird reward thing that happens when people bask in their own emotions. It's like, I'm really angry right now and I'm just going to be in it. Weird. But the longer that we're in it, the more intense it becomes, right? Because what happens is it's like a car going down the hill. We then start to draw on all the other things that we get angry about. It's just this vicious fucking loop, and for most people, they don't stop until the car is at the bottom of the hill and it crashes into the wall, and then they just feel flat, they're drained, and they're like, ugh. So we've got this little window to assert control and to let it go. So I'm standing there, I'm just like so fucking angry, right? And then my anger turned into sadness because I'd seen her only just recently. I'm like, I'm trained in this stuff. I should have noticed that she wasn't feeling well, right? And these are the things I started to blame myself. I'm like, fuck, I should have noticed this. If I noticed this, I could have talked to her. If I talked to her, I could have helped her. But I didn't notice it, and it upset me quite a lot. And then I was like, shit, I can't go down this rabbit hole. I have to deal with this now. And that's where this process here came from. So I had to perform, I had responsibility. The people who had paid me, I could not. My opinion is it's not no excuse. You adopt responsibility and you be responsible when you have commitments. So I'm like, shit, I've got to sort my shit out. Like, okay, right, fuck Todd. You're in cause and effect right now, mate. No, I had to sort my shit out, right? I sort my shit, here's how it works, right? Here's how I reclaimed my mindset and was able to go and perform and attend the funeral and not even have any tears at the funeral because I dealt with it there and then. Would you like to learn how to do it?
Yes.
Yeah. Cool. I share this example and I share this technique here because if this can work for suicide, do you think it can work when you're having a bad day at work? Probably, right? So here's how it works. Step 1, ownership. The very, very first step in breaking our state and starting this resolution process is ownership. So you have to own it. You don't ignore it, you don't deny it, you don't say, I'm not feeling this, you own it. You go, yes, I'm feeling this, I accept it, and you have to break the state. So step 1 is ownership, and the fastest way to crack open that door long enough to break the pattern is to move your body. So what I did is I went, Todd. So move your body, I went, the deep breath, the moving of the shoulders going back. This whole thing was like, okay, now look up. When you look down, you feel. When you look to the sides, you hear. And when you look up, you make pictures. It's impossible to feel a feeling when you're looking up. Impossible. So ownership is number 1. So I go, okay. And here's the words you ask yourself. You say, am I choosing to be at cause or effect right now? Very, very important language. Am I choosing? That gives you the power to be at cause or effect right now. The right now at the end is very important as well because the right now, it grounds you in the moment. What happens when we go either extremes of sadness, fear, anger, is we tend to not just stay present, we go into the past, into the future, into the past, into the future. It's like this crazy thing that our brains do. So we take ownership. The next thing is focus. We have to change our focus now. We've put a wedge into the tires, we've stopped the car, now we've got that little tiny window to do the magic. So it's this focus. And here are the 3 questions you ask yourself to get the right focus to let go of the emotion. First question you ask yourself is this. You say, how am I choosing to view this? So here I am, standing King George Square. I've gone, shit, Todd, you're in a causal effect right now, mate. I'm like, okay. Like cause. Now the breath, you notice the breathing too? Breathing is paramount when it comes to asserting control over your emotions. Like, okay, how am I choosing to view this? Now here's the thing, right? She killed herself. She hung herself. That's not cool. And like, that's reality. So you say to yourself, well, how do you even ask that question? How am I choosing to view this? It is what it is. Well, no, it's not. It is what you choose to give meaning to it as. So I'm like, how am I choosing to view this? And very, very quickly, my unconscious mind gave me all the answers that I needed. I was viewing it as she was a bad person. I was viewing it as she's robbing her child of a mother. I was viewing this as it's my fault. I should have noticed. That's how I was viewing this, right? And that's why I was feeling so bad. The next question is, what else can this mean? And this is very, very hard for this one here. I'm standing there like, fuck, what else can it mean? And I hit a brick wall. I'm like, fuck, it is what it is. Once again, I then loop back to the original one. Am I cause or effect right now? I'm like, cause, mate, let's go. What else can this mean? And I had to let myself find a new empowering meaning. And the meaning I got was that this was the best way for her to be free. It's a stretch, but it made me feel better. I let myself believe that. I let myself invest all of my energy and belief into that point of view.
Yeah.
And then what positive learnings can I get? This is the last one. This is the thing that gets rid of the emotions. Because your unconscious mind only has the emotions there to protect you. It believes the emotions are going to protect you better than anything else. Where, if you get the positive learnings, the learnings protect you, therefore you don't need the emotions. So very, very quickly, I'm like, what positive can I learn from this?
Maybe have an example.
Yeah, I'm about to give you mine. So the learnings that I got from that, and I stood there for a second, I'm like, you have to tell people that you care about your loved one. It's important. And it's okay to go. It's their choice. It's important to be free. I'm like, I'm just getting these little learnings, right? The main one I got was that if you love somebody, just let them know. I'll tell you a story, right? It was just last year, my dad almost died. I get a call at 1 p.m. At 1 a.m. in the morning. I have a missed call. I roll over, I grab my phone, and there's a message there saying, Todd, I've had a really, really bad accident. I just want to say I love you. I don't know if I'm supposed to be teary saying that. I love my dad. And I'm like, fuck. He drives big, long road train trucks, yeah? Big semi-trailers, B-doubles often. And he rolled the entire thing heading towards up north. And it literally blocked the entire highway on Sunshine Coast. Yeah, it was that truck. But his truck was completely crushed. Completely, like you couldn't tell this was a truck anymore. He should not be alive right now. And here I am thinking to myself, I can't even get there. All the roads are closed off. It's impossible. Even if I wanted to get there, I can't get there. This has solidified this learning, right? It's like who in your life should you say, hey, I care about you, I love you. We always do. We take for granted the things that we should be grateful for. And that's the learnings that I got. Because as I sit there, it reminded me, I'm like, holy shit, when was the last time I told my dad that I loved him? See, I'm pretty good with this. I'm like, I always tell my dad that I love him. Like, that's the difference here. My grandmother just died 3 weeks ago. And like, I'm cool. I feel good. And I reflect, I'm like, shit, my nan just died 3 weeks ago. Like, why do I feel so good about this here now? Whereas when my grandfather passed away 2 years ago, it made me very, very emotional. And I think it's a big part because of all the things that are left unsaid. See, if my nan, I remember sitting in the hospital with her 3 weeks ago before she died. And I said, hey, I looked her in the eyes and she was like dying, her whole body was shutting down. And I'm like, I love you. You're always there for me. You mean the world to me. I said, you don't have to be here anymore. It's okay. You can go. And I just shared that energy with her. And then when she passed away, I went to the funeral home. And I looked up to her thing as an open casket. And I looked in and I just smiled. Because she looks so fucking peaceful. I'm like, oh my God, this makes me so happy. because she had no quality of life leading up to her passing away. So what are the positive learnings that I can get? Focus. Told you there'd be some tears. So once we change our focus, and once you get the learnings and you change the meaning, often the emotion disappears as well. We then need to take action. You can't just stand there and dwell on it, right? So I've gone, she's killed herself. Okay, cool. What else can this mean? It means that she's the only way she can find freedom. She had things going on, and this is the only way she can figure out, okay, cool. What does this mean? Okay, what else? What are the learnings I can get? Okay, just go tell the people you care about your love them. It's okay. Everything's okay. It's okay to come and go. Okay. Energy's energy. Great. Okay, great. Boom. And then I moved. It's same as 3, 2, 1, go. It's like, go. And I moved. That's it. I just stuck in it. I went. I did my thing. I performed. Went to a funeral a week later. Didn't even cry. It was similar to how I felt with my dad. I was at peace with it. How long, they say, how long should grief last? I don't know. It's a good question. All comes down to perspective.